Friday, October 30th, 1942. Dearest sweetheart, I didn't write to you last night, honey, but I guess you won't miss one letter. You get my mail in bunches anyhow. Besides, I always write about the same subject. Hundreds and thousands of books were written about it also. I'm talking about love.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hello, hello.
how are you doing?
Good. It's fresh into February, so good timing. 1 month in already.
I guess not so though. Like when this comes out, it'll probably be second week.
Second
End
week.
of.
Yeah. So
What does that mean? What does that mean, Dylan? It's just your favorite weekend of the year.
it's not my favorite. It's not my favorite week of the year. Don't worry. It's Valentine's
Good old
Day.
Valentines.
Good old Valentine's. The most like
Uh,
commercialized. I think it's like sometimes it's more commercialized than like Christmas. Because like
oh, definitely.
the rate at which people just go ham for it. But I mean,
Mm.
like, it's good to have one such day where like you dote your partners and your whoever's your loved ones with attention and care. As if you shouldn't do that every day, you know. But every day is Valentine's. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So the before we started, you read a letter addressed
Yeah, I did. I
in
did.
1942.
Mm.
So it was yeah. Give me some backstory about it. And then
So just going through some. I like. I mean, we both like sort of going through old letters, especially letters written during the war, um, because it kind of condenses human experience, right? Because the death is ever present in that moment. You don't know when you're gonna die. So kind of the emotions run high, and I think you can kind of see it very clearly in the letters. But this specific one was from a woman named Jean Sobolevsky, who was in the Women's Army Auxiliary Corps in World War II. Right, she was writing to her fiance on the front lines.
yeah. So her fiance was also like he was on the front line on as well. So she was in the auxiliary corps and he was in the front lines. And yeah.
And then a few months later, I think, yeah, her letter was returned to her unopened, right, with the red letters on the envelope saying deceased.
Yeah.
So it's probably not a happy start to the episode, but this is, I guess, life and what makes love even more wonderful. I think just the fact that we have limited time to experience it.
Yeah. So like she didn't. She wasn't married. They weren't married. So that's probably why she didn't get the official notification because the his parents got it, but she only found out that way, and that's like such a heartbreaking way to find out that your loved one has passed away. Um, yeah, and
Yeah, and that's just
that's
one person, and there's
yeah,
thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people during, especially World War II, just a huge massacre, right? It's insane, especially people our age, like, from 16 to 20. Like, people won't get past our age, they're probably going to die before that. It's crazy.
yeah. I mean, there are like happy memories, very good happy stories. There's Nathan Hoffman, who had only gone on 5 dates with Evelyn Gininger in
What, 2,000 letters written between each other? Yeah, that's so good. Mm. It's interesting though. Like if you think about, so they were like together for such a long time, right? And if you just imagine that happening during this era with phones and stuff, you would probably send millions of individual text messages, right? 2,000 mail is nothing compared to that, but it's still it's such a different experience, right? I think just messaging everything all the time, these updates, I think saturates that experience a little bit. And I have definitely experienced that. Just I think my relationships, just romantically or otherwise, have been strengthened. Just having a catch up end of the day, or like maybe end of the week, just having a little call and a catch up, because you're kind of condensing the whole week and your experiences, and you're not. I don't know. Just I'm gonna I'm gonna say it again. Just not you're not saturating it. I think, and uh, yeah, I don't know. I think for me it kind of is somehow better. I know there's benefits to messaging. I think it's good to be in contact and getting those updates and being informed. But there's also some utility to sort of letters and calls, I think. Oh, okay. I need to find it. Okay, go on. Okay. So was that Hoffman? That was Nathan. Okay, so I'm Evelyn. Cool. Um, my dear, every day I miss you a little bit more, and today I miss you like tomorrow. The knowledge that you're getting closer to the front line makes me tremble every time I think of it. I wonder how you must feel. All I can do is pray and keep a hopeful heart. Wait, so these are the same people who wrote 2,000 letters between each other? Oh, okay, wow, okay. Man, I miss letters, like, uh, or like just people back in the day. Their language is so much better. I don't know, it's just cooler, and now it's like so dumbed down. I feel like, even like I've listened to like people like read letters of 16-year olds, 17-year olds writing letters to their parents, and it's so articulate and it's beautiful. And I don't think people can. I don't know, it's just the fate of the language, I guess. But it's interesting. Mm, yep. Mm, yep. Yeah. Cool. And I want to just yeah, no, that's true. And I just want to take it back to those letters, right? I'm still thinking about it because obviously there's something different about letters, right? Versus texting, and um, don't want to say the same thing over and over again, but kind of by coincidence, I guess, I was thinking about this stuff in the morning today, and kind of journaling, and I came up with my own little concept, right? I gave it a name this morning. I called it organic tasks, right? So no one's gonna read my journal, so I'm just gonna chuck it here. Someone's gonna listen to this. Yep. I mean, it is. I didn't steal it from anywhere, but I'm sure it's someone's talked about it. But it's the tasks that take the tasks that the time it takes is in line with the laws of nature. So what I mean is sending posts, right? It's gonna move from hand to hand through country. Someone's gonna back in the day, let's say someone's gonna go riding a bike. It's gonna, if it's a different country, it's gonna go on a ship, right? Like, let's say going on going riding a bike, right? It's directly correlated to how much leg power you're gonna put through a cycle, right? It goes on a ship. It depends on the sails, and like if it's ancient, like a sailing whatever ship, depends on the wind, right? It's directly dependent on on nature, and like it's not gonna go super fast. Now all the effort that we put in is outsourced into a different piece of tech, right? And the infrastructure is already laid out for you. So when you press something, it goes immediately. Whereas back in the day, it took time to do things that it would naturally take. And I try to call these things organic tasks. Obviously, just came up with this word maybe 12 hours ago, but and I think that makes you feel more satisfied with things you do. And I've kind of made myself a promise to do more organic tasks, meaning if I want to go to the shops, walk instead of taking the car. Doing these little things. I think it's not wasting time. I think it's experiencing more of time. And these 59 years they were married for probably felt like hundreds of years together, right? Versus someone, you know, this in this day and age, spending 59 years together would kind of feel much shorter, even though things happen much faster. But anyways, I thought I'll put it in the just chuck it in the episode because I've been thinking about it, and I just want to introduce my cool concept. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think is that like that feeling of uncertainty, right? Like you just don't know what's gonna happen. So, do you reckon that's why people are getting married? Like it's people like our friends are getting married. I don't know if they're like rushing into it like this, like these soldiers. It's a cultural thing that I feel like it's a cultural thing, definitely. But I gotta say that's only for men. Historically, women have obviously got you know the the worst deal, and they usually got married off very young because obviously traditionally marriage is just not a bond of love or anything of the sort, more of a uh, sort of agreement to sort of exchange properties, I think. Um, but you are right. And just culturally, like that's why I think everyone who we know from Sri Lanka, not everyone, um, everyone who's getting married are we know are from Sri Lanka, I think. Um, but it's weird. Not weird, but it's just interesting because none of my Australian friends are getting married, even though some of them have kids now, which is crazy. Um, yeah. Mm. And I don't think so. Though I think that's a I honestly don't think so. I think it's one of those things where I get this drive like, okay, oh, if I finish all this stuff and I get on top of stuff, then I can make this decision or do this thing because everything else is sorted. But it never gets sorted, so we'll never reach a point in time where we know what's gonna happen, where we are, what we're gonna do next, and we're stable. I think um, having a kid actually anchors people into life a bit more and gives him stability and gives him a chance to do things and plan things, and be adult. I think you don't have to be fully stable before having a kid. I think having a kid might do it for you, but I still don't think it's a good idea to have a kid just to just to feel like just to get your life into in balance. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Have you got invited to any of the weddings though? Oh, you did too. I remember the one you got invited to, and you had to look after me, look after me after the marathon, so you couldn't go. You're just gonna be in the corner, like promoting the podcast, like. What was that? Was that Master of None? Where he's like, I can't remember where it was. It's like, there's only one time. No, like I think he was at a wedding, and he's like, uh, this is the first time you're gonna see all your friends and family together with you. The next time is during a funeral, and I was like, wow, I really need to spend more time with people I love and not, wait for a wedding or something, a big moment in my life to call them together and have a party. You know, yeah. So I always have to bring it down a bit. It just came into my mind. I was like, yeah, might as well say it. uh, but yeah, I mean, look, yeah, funeral. Yeah, I mean, it's a good celebration on the way out, I think. So, yeah, until that, we got time. So, yeah. I'm sorry, I just it came to my mind. Thought I'll say it. Um, sounds like a very dodgy toy of some sort. It's just a brand. It's one brand of a specific brand of a chocolate cream biscuit. And I was addicted. It's like a cream. I think it's like an Oreo with like it's like a chocolate Oreo. Um, only flavor, bro. To this day, triple chocolate. I'm Dumi, and I'm an addict. But or I mean the I mean my auntie was kind of roasting me about it a few days ago because she was like, oh, I used to cry if I didn't get it, and I had to like it was so bad because I would go through a whole packet every day after school. I'll come, and then on the days it wasn't there, I would just like I couldn't. I needed to have it, like, and then so I would watch obviously my favorite cartoons and eat a whole packet. And sometimes the shops wouldn't have it, so she would get my mom would get the other brand. Dude, those days I hated them, but I would still eat them because I needed my fix, you know. Um, little hitter of chocolate biscuit. It was so bad. Like I remember I would take some to school and like eat it during like between classes or like in class. I think even when we were in class together, like even when I was that old, I was still have some. But I think when because dad was abroad a bit and he came back in and he sort of walked in on my addiction. It's like it's like, now you're gonna stop this cold turkey. He didn't let me have it for so long, and then I I obviously then, you know how addiction is, we kind of turn to other things. So different types of other biscuits. I have had them all through the years. Legit. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was like a yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's very mathematical. So you got a square, and then there's like a design which is a yeah, it's a square which is like turn 90 degrees, so it becomes a kind of a diamond shape within the square. So I would eat the yeah, there's basically a square that's been turned 90 degrees, and I would eat the equilateral triangles on the four sides first, and then savor the middle bit because it had cream like fully. Um, anyways, I'm going fully off track. It's meant to be. Hmm. Were we all addicts then? Like, were we all addicts? Hmm. You're not a chocolate guy anyway, are you? You're not a chocolate guy. Yeah. All your dates just cancelled on you. All your dates just cancelled on you. Yeah. Wow. What are your plans? What are your plans? What are your plans for Valentine's, mate? Well, you go to Sydney. Oh no, that's before. Yeah, so I just exposed your whole life on the podcast. BBT, yeah, bless BBT. Can't expose him on the podcast, but yeah, but most people will be going. I think or like having plans. I think that'll be awesome for them. And people who don't have plans, I think that's fine as well. You know, love yourself, I say. Working. That's beautiful. I get, no, I don't. I work. but, but I am going to the orchestra with my family, which will be beautiful. Just on the weekend. So that was good. I think this. Yeah, go on. Uh, yeah. I think I was just gonna cut you off just because I think this episode's turning into a bit of a vlog instead of stories. But I think yeah, I think we always talk about saving stories and saving stories of people who were before us, and think that we kind of try to do that with the letters and kind of bringing people's attention towards things that happened in the past that might not have had a happy ending, and things that did. And I think what we're trying to say with this is trying to save your own stories, right? I know we talk about saving other people's stories, but try to save your own stories and cherish these things when they happen, because obviously they're not going to last forever. Who? Oh, me? Okay, cool. I was like, oh, damn it. Love it, love it. Such a good movie. Amazing directing, lighting, music, acting, obviously. Jesus, it's basically a like every shot could be a like a wallpaper. Amazing. Yes, I was gonna say it. I didn't want to say it. Mhm. Who are the two girls? Says Marianne, Louise. It's French. It's French. I love it. I love that era as well in movies. Is just the costumes itself and architecture is amazing. Yeah, and it's good. It's obviously what was the director's name? She's amazing because she does a lot of sort of gender fluid sort of, yeah, it sort of goes deep into that subject. I think with lots of movies. I think have you watched Blue is the Warmest? Yeah, Blue is the Warmest Color. Like one of the top movies, right? Of like that's about I think was it two teenage girls finding love. Um, was it teenage? Yeah, well, amazing acting, obviously. Um, yes, yeah. Similar. To I think Marianne's the painter, and then she's trying to paint the a portrait of. Mm, nice connection to the World War. Actually, ties it back into. I think there was like. Anyways, I think there's it's on the French coast. It's on the French coast, man. Yeah. Yeah, don't like spoil the movie. But and yeah, and the colors are amazing. Oh, just I think it's always isn't it is it green and red that kind of always there. It's beautiful. Green and Red. I can remember that very clearly, and just the music, Vivaldi's Summer. Yeah, 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 yeah. And the music, Vivaldi's Summer, right? I think we vibed to that in the orchestra. So I think Vivaldi's Summer plays throughout the whole thing, and that's amazing. Uh, Great movie, highly recommend. I think obviously it's 2022. We need to look at so I try to, I think, break away from tradition. I know we talked about tradition a lot, and it's not always correct just because it um you know has happened for a long time. So kind of making way for new ideas and ideas that already existed but have been repressed for a long time, I think, to come forward. No, I don't think I. But that's a fair bet though. Like a 9 out of 10 times I'm crying. So yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes. This is a fun one. I enjoyed it. Yeah, and what? Oh my god, we'll leave it. They can go find it on YouTube. Jesus, um, dude, that's it. We should. Where's this extract from? Oh, this is the Prophet. Okay, beautiful. It's a awesome book. I think we'll dive into that in a different episode because one of my top books of all time. I think everyone needs to have a copy just for reference. Very small, like 90 pages or something. It's in the public domain, so it's free, so you can get it if you want to. I actually gifted you 2 copies by mistake, didn't I? Um, that's alright. I don't know, just looking after you, bro. If I don't send you letters, but I send you books. So, um, what do you send me, man? Nothing. Nothing. You do, yes. Jesus Christ. Okay, getting sidetracked. Yes. Hmm. Wow, that was good. Beautiful. Well, I think that's it for today. Okay. See ya. Bye. Cool, 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 cool.